Yo, yeah, indeed. ZBM, you know what's going on, man. Cause that stupid on boss is having a, you know, decent summer. We wanna, discuss a few topics. We just wanna jump right into it. First and foremost, we wanna talk about vulnerability. I had discussed it briefly a few days ago. But again, vulnerability, in my opinion, is, you know, when someone or something, entity of that nature is, feeling like they're losing advantage or losing something in total, right? Whenever something or someone or anything, you know, puts someone or something at jeopardy of losing something or something in total, you know, I think that's what you would consider like, being vulnerability, right? So I want to discuss that and just clarify that too, because I had spoken on that briefly. But yeah, I don't know about vulnerability. I think only when you might be losing edge, or when you might be losing, what's the word I'm looking for? When you're losing advantage, if you're losing advantage or you're losing something in total. I think that's when a person or entity, etc., would maybe feel vulnerability. And vulnerability is a very sensitive thing, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. Speaking of vulnerability, I want to speak about something else, right? So, Mr. Z, he comes home from the 5 months in, these three different counties right here in the tri-state. 5 months in Delaware County, Philadelphia County, and Camden County, New Jersey. 5 months in total for a probation violation and stuff like that. Based on some previous frivolous cases and accusations, we already discussed it. Maybe I can add the link here in the bio for you to watch that video if you haven't, if anybody's new. So, but after those 5 months, Mr. Z is released, and again, a vulnerable position, lost all my previous property, everything like that, my job, etc., etc., right? So starting all over from ground zero. Once again, when just recently, before, being incarcerated for the probation violation, it was like 9 months, like 9 months out in society after, being arrested during the pandemic. And, in the time span of the 9 months being home, before that 9 months being home, I had lost everything again. So it was like lost everything, come home 9 months, and then get arrested again for 5 months, and then come home and to everything being lost again. So like back to back, right? Now, again, a vulnerable scenario, coming home having to start all over, that's all right. But now moving forward, and I'm working for Bumblefuck Company, right? Working for Bumblefuck Company. You hear the little pit in the backyard and shit. But yeah, working for Bumblefuck. So again, this is three rats, right? We'll talk about the two rats later. And the first rat, Bumblefuck Company, is Mr. Amoroso, right? It's rat number one, Mr. Amoroso Bakery, and everything like that, man. When I was hired, you feel me? I signed contracts and union contracts and everything like that. My contract is breached. You know what I'm saying? So I have all rights, as a United States citizen, to speak on it. Since we're going to trial essentially, and everything like that, or whatever. So I'm not breaching a settlement, or I'm not breaching a contract. The contract was breached already, and stuff like that, which gives me 100% right and truth to actually call this guy a rat. Again, this guy's like 70-year-old guy, maybe his business been in business for about 90 years. I don't know. But yeah, walking into a scenario like this in a vulnerable position, once again, and all contracts were breached, and we had these other two rats that entered that location, all pertaining to whatever kind of business they were conducting behind the scenes. I'm in a vulnerable position, and everything like that. Just coming home, getting everything back in motion, trying to build ZBM, more, and legitimize, everything that's going on with ZBM and everything like that. So, just in that vulnerable position, working for Bumblefuck Company, and today I'm here to expose a few rats, and stuff like that. It's necessary, and it's necessary for the children. It's necessary for the adults. You feel me? And again, we always gotta correct some. Always gotta correct some narrative, and stuff like that. And again, continue to share perspectives and everything like that. And try to bring some of this pollution down and try to eliminate some toxins in society and whatnot. If we can do that, that'd be great. So I want to expose some rats. I'm coming home. I come home. I'm in a vulnerable position, and working for Bumblefuck Company, and everything like that. Everything was fine for me personally, as you can see, like on some of the social media sites. You might see me at a baseball game or at the studio rapping or something like that. I'm just, being a regular 19-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 19. I'm just joking, but just being a regular kid. You know what I'm saying? 30 years old, you still technically a kid, you know what I'm saying? You're still in your early years of life, you know what I'm saying? So still being a kid, enjoying life and everything like that. But I guess I guess that was tough to witness if you're a hater. So in the process, I'm working for Bumblefuck Company, and when I'm working for Bumblefuck Company, I want to expose a few rats. So, I was telling a friend, I said, what's the chances? Like, what's the chances while I'm working for Bumblefuck Company that I will run into Alphonso Caldwell? All right. For those who don't know who this guy is, Alphonso Caldwell. He's a guy from Chester, Pennsylvania, right? I was born and raised in Chester, Pennsylvania, up until like my ninth grade year in high school, right? So, me and this guy, we kind of are like born and raised from the same city. Meanwhile, Alphonso Caldwell, he was one of the biggest drug dealers, distributors in Chester, Pennsylvania in the early 2000s, maybe the mid 1990s, and everything like that. So I guess at some point he got arrested. I was just a kid, maybe like 7 years old or something, like maybe 8, 9, 10 or something like that. He got arrested. I was just a kid, and I might have heard his name a few times, but it wasn't really. I wasn't really too familiar with the guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, from what I remember growing up, he was like always on the verge of being killed. So that's what I remember about the guy. Like, he was always somebody. Oh, they trying to kill Fanny. Oh, Fanny, Alfonso. Oh, he got shot. Oh, they killed him again. Or they trying to kill him again. Like, that's the kind of stuff I remember being like an 8-year-old. You know what I'm saying? But again, he was relatively one of the biggest at that time frame. You know what I'm saying? As far as being a drug distributor or whatever you might want to categorize it as, a drug dealer, drug kingpin, or something like that, right? So at that time, he had got arrested around like 2006 or 2007, and allegedly the story was he was connected to some kind of Mexican cartel or something like that, and apparently he had got pulled over with like four kilos of cocaine in the trunk, and he cooperated against the person that he was doing business with, and in the process of that, and genocide, is what the next step was, right? He losing family members, and people getting arrested, innocent people dying, so on and so forth. Now, a couple years go past while he's cooperating and still moving around, operating in the streets. And a few attempts was taken out on his life. And, you know, for him, I guess it was fortunate that he survived those attempts on his life and he wasn't killed, even though it was multiple attempts for him to die. So now, after that, when he finally did get officially fully indicted, fully arrested, this, I think it was like 500 kilos of cocaine in the backyard of his house, and a couple $1,000,000 in the couch of his house, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like $500,000 house, couple different cars, right? But he's like a 20, 22, 23-year-old guy. So I'm like 8 years old, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Alphonso Caldwell, that was kind of like his story or whatever. Everybody glorified the rats, and everybody, you know, want to talk about the guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, over the years, the guy, I came across a lot of conversations where he was being discussed and everything like that. But, you know, it's like, you know, we can acknowledge these kind of people, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I have no respect for this kind of guy, you know what I'm saying, to be honest, you know. So, long story short, that's kind of like the storyline that I'm familiar with behind this guy. And now, moving forward, you know, like he done lost all his children and everything like that. It's one of those kind of things, man. You know, whatever, man. It's just called genocide. At the end of the day, whatever you want to call it, man. Like, but you know, meanwhile, I'm in Bumblefuck Company, and lo and behold, who do I meet? Who do I meet? You know what I'm saying? This is what we call commercial disparagement. You know what I'm saying? Like, who do I meet working for Bumblefuck Company? Nobody else but Alphonso Caldwell, right? So this is the second time I bumped into him. So the first time I bumped into him was in Wilmington, Delaware, when I was, you know, in that state prison down there in Wilmington, and I was fighting my trials in 2014. First time I met Alphonso Caldwell, right, was on Unit 2J, and again, weirdo undercover agent type vibes, what he had going on. But you know, I was at a table talking to a few guys, and he walked up. This is like his first day I seen him on the unit, and he kind of walked and approached the table, and we was talking, and everybody started mentioning finally, you know what I'm saying? Like mentioning Alphonso Caldwell, and you know, oh, he had Ferraris and Maseratis and this and all the cars, right? He had the cars, the girls, yeah, all that, right? But then somebody like finally said the right thing out their mouth, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, but he's a rat, you know what I'm saying? Everybody killed his family, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they don't want to talk about the after effects, you know what I'm saying, of what these suckers would do, you feel me? Or what would happen, you know what I'm saying, when these guys make those weird decisions, you know what I'm saying, or make those weak decisions. So, like, when somebody finally said the truth about the guy, you know what I'm saying, he actually walked away from the table and started crying. So, after that day, I never seen him on the unit again. So, like, that was it. And then that was the first time I met him, you know what I'm saying, 2014. You know, he come up to the table, and they start mentioning him in third person, even though it's him, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like one of those things where, you know, when they start glorifying him in front of him, he started kind of smiling, getting hyped. And then, you know, somebody finally from the side was like, man, like, you know, and spoke the truth about, you know, what actually happened behind all the cars and the girls and, you know, all the homicides he caught and all that. When somebody spoke the truth about it, you know what I'm saying, he kind of started crying and kind of walked away. And then I guess they moved him from the jail or something after that. So I don't know what was his purpose of being on that unit with me, around me in 2014, but, you know, it's suspect, right? So now, years go past. Here we are. I'm working for Bumblefuck Company after coming home from, you know, a frame failed indictment. You know what I'm saying, and everything like that. You know, in a whole nother state. And now here I am working for Bumblefuck Company, and here it is, Mr. Alphonso Caldwell himself. You know, and the second time that I'm meeting him, but it's like 10 years later. So took a while for me to recognize him, and then we finally like had a few words, and I was like, damn, I was like, damn, you really? I'm like, damn, what's up, man? Like what you doing out here? You feel me? Like, I'm surprised to see you. I'm surprised to be looking at you right now. What's going on, right? And expressed a few words, and you know, I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. yeah, another rat, you know what I'm saying, popped up at the work location that I had, you know what I'm saying. Very strange encounter, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just the corrupt system of the Justice Department, you know what I'm saying? You ask those kind of questions, like, what's going on? What's that about? You know what I'm saying? Like, and everything like that, right? So that's rat number one. Rat number one of the day, man, I want to talk about, man. Talk about Alphonso Caldwell and how he popped up at Bumblefuck Company. You know, I'm just at McDonald's trying to flip a burger. You know what I'm saying? What is Alphonso doing here? You know what I'm saying? This guy's supposed to be getting fucking 10 life sentences for all the deaths and drugs that he was manufactured with. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's rat number one. Months and months and months go past. Here it is, rat number two. You know what I'm saying? Craig Petties, rat number two. And the thing these two guys got in common is they were selling drugs for a Mexican cartel, allegedly. I don't even know what a cartel is, to be honest, right? So, but, you know, just when you look into these guys and you read the storylines and you read an affidavit or two, like this is the terminology that will be used on paperwork. So, you know, I read a few of their paperworks, a few of their indictments is public, you know, like it's not all public, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of confidentiality in it, you know what I'm saying? But you can Google and you'll see indictment, right? Maybe a basic affidavit or something like that. And then after that, it's like, yeah, you ain't gonna see the rest of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got you gonna have to dig a little deep, spend a little money or something. But meanwhile, Craig Petties, right? Him and Alphonso Caldwell, what they got in common is allegedly they were working for and getting money with, you know, some kind of Mexican cartel, whatever that is, right? So now, that's what they have in common. The other thing they have in common, they both rats. So the Craig Pettis guy, I guess, I don't know, he's from Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know too much about him. I guess allegedly he was in Memphis, Tennessee, where he started his career as a drug dealer, and then he kind of moved and shifted to Los Angeles or something like that and whatnot. So, you know, I guess it was like a big fish, small fish. So the small fish was, you know, Alphonso Caldwell, again, guy from Chester, Pennsylvania. He was big in the tri-state area and everything like that. And, you know, eventually being, you know, I guess he was like smoking crack and snorting cocaine, and he was drunk on a highway on a phone or something like that. And, you know, he got pulled over and had four kilos of cocaine in the trunk. So at that rate, you know, that's where he started cooperating, and then everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody, but I guess allegedly, you know, a couple times he was almost killed. And, you know, and one thing led to another. And, you know, again, we talking about, you know, genocide and stuff like that. You know, it's a tough scenario. It's a disgraceful, you know, action to partake in, literally, if you ask me. Because again, you know, you cooperate against someone and whatnot. Someone mad, someone life is in jeopardy now. You know, you sign that proffer agreement, cooperation plea agreement, and you know, I'm sure somewhere on there, I never did it, thank God I don't want to. And you know, I'm sure somewhere on there from, the actual fact of signing your rights away, it lets you know what I'm saying? Like disclaimers right there for you to see. So you know, that's where, you know, everything else went in a certain direction for that guy. So that's what they both have in common. They both signed cooperation plea agreements or proffer agreements, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, they both were drug addicts at the same time. So now, here it is. Craig Petties, again, I guess he started in Memphis with his lifestyle he built or created. And he moved to California with some guy named La Barbie or something like that. Some Mexican Sinaloa cartel guy or something like that, right? So, and I guess he moved to Mexico as a fugitive with this guy. And, you know, they say he made a couple $100 million or something like that. So, that's why it's like a small fish and a big fish, right? So, this little Alphonso Caldwell guy, he's just a regional tri-state guy, right? At that point in time of like 2006, right? So, and then you got this other guy, Craig Petties from Memphis. You know, he done somehow got indicted and then escaped with La Barbie and ran to Mexico, and he worked for El Chapo and Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but at the end of the day, it's a dog eat dog world, a dog eat dog business that they play. And then he still ended up indicted with like Barbie and all of that shit anyway, and whatever. So, now here it is. Like, I never even heard of the guy too much growing up, but I was under the impression when I heard a few rappers glorifying him, I was under the impression that. So I heard a few rappers glorifying him. So then one day I was just curious and I looked him up. Like, all right, so then who the hell is Craig Petties in Memphis? He's a drug lord. Like, who is this guy? Like, I never, you know what I'm saying? But somebody's rapping about him. I heard a few guys rapping about him, so I looked him up. And I looked him up. I'm like, all right, they glorifying who is this guy? And, when I looked him up, what I seen, this was like 2017, 2018. What I seen was he was selling cocaine for some other guys from South America or something like that. And he told on them when he got arrested. But now, fast forward, I see something on YouTube or the internet pop across my phone and saying that he told on some Mexican cartel, like Barbie guys, that he was living down there with. He had left the country as a fugitive. So I'm like, damn, well, you see how like the misinformation, is just a plant sometimes. Because at first, 5-6 years ago, he was selling drugs for someone in South America, and he told on them and got indicted. Now, 6-7 years ago, that story is erased, and now it was like, oh no, he was selling drugs with like Barbie. He was a fugitive that left America, and he was a part of the Sinaloa cartel or something, whatever that is, right? So now, like I said, I don't know anything about drug cartel, and I've never been arrested for selling drugs at all. So I'm not familiar with the drug industry that much, but I'll tell you, when these two guys kind of approached me, not approach me in a physical way, but they kind of entered my ambiance at this work location where I'm working for Bumblefuck company, and they enter my ambiance, and it's like, okay, I noticed them, I heard of them, and I seen some storylines about these kind of guys, but I looked them up and I was like, damn, well, I started looking at this guy. I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, trying to figure him out. Like, why the hell, why is both of y'all here at the same time? Like, so that was kind of striking. But again, so that's just the storyline that I'm familiar with between those two guys. They have in common the same thing. It was working for some kind of Mex cartel, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that is. That's just a term the government use anyway. I don't even know what that term really means, but that's just a term the government use. But so we're just gonna go with the standards and shit like that. But I think that's what they calling it, right? So they saying that they both was working for like the same Mexican cartel or something like that, and they both ratted and stuff like that, and they both was at threat of being killed and whatever, and whoever else in their family was killed and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? What happens with the genocide thing. So now they both pop up on me, and I'm like, what's the whole thing about y'all popping up on me? Like, I'm confused. Well, I guess I met with Chapo then, right? So now, fast forward, and I'm like, damn, that was kind of strange. You feel me? Very strange. I tell you this, I did want to insert I did want to insert this piece to this little story right here, right? So we just gonna talk about these two rats, and we're gonna keep it moving today. But I just want to insert this. One thing I did witness about this guy, Craig Petties, right? I mean, and this guy, Alphonso Caldwell, I tell you what, they some hard-working motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why, like, for the youth, man, like, it's crazy, because, like, you won't never see, like, you won't see some of these men working hard, you feel me, until like, you know what I'm saying, somebody controlling their whole life and their family's future, you feel me? Like, so that's why I encourage the youth, man. Like, man, work hard for your money, man. Work hard. Go get you a job, man. Go get your career. Go get you a trade, man. Like build your capital, man. Go get you, you know what I'm saying, whatever, man. Like, there's a lot of options out here for that, you know what I'm saying? And again, I'll create the example. Because, I was once that guy, you know what I'm saying, with the idea. I kind of got arrested, in 2014, and that kind of slowed me down when I went to college after I came home in 2015. right? So I kind of like, I had some hurdles in the road, but I'll just say is I create the example for the young 17-year-old, the 16-year-old, the 19-year-old, right? There's nothing wrong, you know, graduating at 18, 17, or whatever, and putting the work in, you feel me, to be 23 years old with no children and making 60,000 a year from a career, man. You don't gotta be a weirdo or a sucker because you working, man. Like, you can be, the same or whatever, however you want, man. You can have the same, energy as, what you was raised around, you feel me? But you just making your 60, 70,000 a year. You 23 years old, you feel me? Like, whatever, man. You got your cars, you don't got kids. Like, that's the idea, man. Like, for the youth, man. I want to promote and share it, man. Like, work hard for that kind of dream, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, basketball, rap, whatever, man. Feel me? You want to be a plumber, you can make 60,000 a year. You only 21 years old, you feel me? You can be a landscaper, make that kind of money. You can be a truck driver, make that kind of money. You feel me? You can be a welder, make that kind of money. Like, it's whatever, man. Like, if you're 19, 20 years old, man, there's nothing wrong with investing that time, you know what I'm saying, to go ahead and get that school, that college degree, or that diploma certification so you can make that 50, 60, 70, or 100,000 a year type of career job, you know what I'm saying, as a 23-year-old, you feel me? You know what I mean? Like, everything else is there waiting for you feel me? Like, in the street game, the drugs and shit, it ain't going nowhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, I just want to share that part, right? Because, I'm looking at these guys and I'm actually, meeting Alphonso Caldwell for the second time, but I'm like I'm amazed, you feel me, at, how hard he's working, you feel me? Like, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker sweating bullets, like, you feel me? Like, he's working 20-hour shifts, you feel me, on his hands and knees, you feel me? And it's like, damn, you feel me? It took him to lose all his money, time, family, so on and so forth for this man to work, you know what I'm saying, like a man. You know what I'm saying? When it's like you could have been 19 years old and worked like a man like that. You know what I'm saying? And been free, no kids or kids, making 60, 70,000 a year, driving your cars, your house, your condo, whatever your dream could have been. You know what I'm saying? It takes for a motherfucker to lose their whole family, their whole future, their whole life, their whole freedom, you know what I'm saying, to work hard, you know what I'm saying, hands and knees and sweat bullets. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I want to, address, man. Like, I witnessed them men, I witnessed these male species, you know what I'm saying, work harder than they ever worked in their life. Look what it took for a male species to work like a man. And so that's one aspect I want to speak about, right? You know what I'm saying? It took for a guy to lose his whole family, his whole freedom, his whole future, so on and so forth, all his money, all his girls, however you want to break it down. It took for somebody to lose all of that, wake up every day knowing that all that shit is gone, for a motherfucker to work hard. Like, that's kind of like, that's like mental retardation to me, you feel me? Like, that don't even make sense. So, it's like, I want to address that, you feel me? Like, when you see something like that, it's like, man, for the young guys out there, this is the kind of shit you can avoid, man. Like, if you're 17, 18, and don't get me wrong, I understand shit be rough out, but, at the end of the day, man, it's like, to graduate and go to school for 6 months and shit like that, and maybe make 30, 40 grand a month. 30, 40 grand a year. That's a good start for a 20-year-old, I just leave that there. But, like, we gotta shout out and commend the men, you feel me, that's willing to work hard, you feel me, at a young age and an older age, you feel me, before they go in that other direction, you feel me? Like, you see these guys, they go in the other direction, and then a motherfucker gotta strip everything from them and take half their fucking life from them and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, for them to work hard like a man, you feel me? Like, that's weak, you feel me? That's a weak character, you feel me? That's a weak character trait. So now that's just the other part that I want to talk about. The other part I want to talk about is Petties, right? So that's Alphonso Caldwell, right? You know what I'm saying? He pop up in bumblefuck company next to me, motherfucker working on hands and knees, sweating bullets. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? You could have avoided all that shit, you feel me? And just, went a different direction. But again, these guys want to be drug addicts and all the above. Anyway, whole nother story. So this guy Craig Petties, right? What I witnessed this guy do was astronomical. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just give you an example. What I witnessed this guy do. I witnessed this guy. I witnessed this guy walking down an alleyway, right? So let's just say I'm gonna change the whole scenery. Let's just say we in an alleyway. What I witnessed this guy do, right? I'm walking down the street. He's walking down the street, and somebody else is walking with him. And now these two guys is walking in front of me, and I see this one guy snap his finger. Boom! And this one guy snap his finger. They make a left turn into the alleyway. When they make a left turn to the alleyway, I walk past the alleyway. Usually I would mind my business. But since this was like so close in proximity, you feel me? Like we was kind of like just a few feet away from each other. So it's kind of like I couldn't really mind my business all the way. But, you know, I usually would have minded my business in circumstances like this. It was just like, this shit was just too close. So I had, I got, you know what I'm saying? Like peripheral vision, you feel me? So like, I walked past this guy in the alleyway after this guy snapped his finger. He in the alleyway sucking the guy's dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, you know, this is the kind of shit that that needs to be addressed, man. Like with these rats, you feel me? Like, mind you, you know, we talking about guys that, you know, that did whatever they had to do to make money, right? And I'm not the guy to knock anybody hustle technically. I'm not the guy to do that. You know what I'm saying? But this is like, some shit is unacceptable, you feel me? You ask me. So it's like, you know, these guys, whatever they did, whatever they had to do to get money, that's cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mind my fucking business. But these guys, they did whatever they had to do to get money. On top of that, they sloppy as hell and doing all this kind of weird freak shit and smoking crack and snorting cocaine, getting arrested. They telling on everybody else, their family members dying, and they doing all this whole weird freak ass shit. You feel me? Like, so it's like, you know, when I witnessed that as a 7-year-old or 8-year-old, you feel me? It was just like crazy. You feel me? Like, to see that happening. Now when I grew up a little bit more, I realized like Craig Petties was somebody, you know, out in Memphis that fled the country to Mexico, you know, and I hear that story. I'm like, damn, what the hell? Like, that shit sound crazy. But, you know, now you get a chance to meet somebody like this in real life, and it's like, yo, but look at the guy's character. Look at this. Look at what this shit turned the person into. You know what I'm saying? Like, the motherfucker on hands and knees, sweating bullets, getting fucked in his ass all day. You feel me? Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you a man or you a fucking species? I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm confused. You feel me? And you got this other guy, motherfucker snapped his fingers. He just go in the alleyway and just start gunning the motherfucker and swallow his semen. You feel me? Like, you know, and I'm not being over dramatic when I'm speaking about it. You feel me? Like, this is like real life shit. You feel me? But it's like, you know, I just want to expose these rats, man, speak about it. You feel me? Like, I'm working a bumblefuck company. You know, they kind of bumped into me. We kind of rubbed shoulders a little bit. None of that shit rub off on me. You feel me? And, you know, I was always, you know, swift to let them know that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I understand you, but stay the fuck away from me a little bit with all that. You feel me? Like, you know, but, you know, I'm a businessman, you feel me? And you know, but again, I protect my rights and shit like that. Again, I call that shit commercial disparagement, you feel me? Whereas, like, you know, all that shit is at a disadvantage to me, you know, being a businessman, you feel me? Like, nobody wants to pull up to the movie theater in the middle of the winter, you know what I'm saying, and with your trucks and your crew, and you shoveling snow and shit like that for the movie theater owner or the person that owns the land or whatever, and you there to shovel snow with your trucks and your crew. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be doing that, and you know what I'm saying? They want to put all kind of weird shit in out front of the movie theater while you trying to do something simple like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to put Alphonso Caldwell and Craig Petties outside snoring coke and shit while you trying to, you know what I'm saying, shovel snow. Like, what the hell? So, you know, that's why I said I call that commercial disparagement and shit like that. So I just learned, again, we just now like really found that definition. You know, that law is called, and again, that law is Simon versus the United States, if I'm not mistaken. I'll drop that below, right? Simon versus United States, and It's again protecting your reputation, what that whole law is based upon, and then again it breaks all it down through a lot of different aspects of it, but commercial disparagement, right? So yeah, I want to expose those two rats and whatnot, man. For the youth, man, like I said, man, look at those options, keep those options open. And again, we want to talk to young guys, man, 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds and stuff like that, 20-year-olds and shit like that, man. Like, I would really highly encourage you, go that direction, man, and go get that 60,000 a year career job or something, man. Like, like 60,000 times 10. You know what I'm saying? You can make your own 600,000 or whatever, but and that's just that. You feel me? Like, and you can do other shit while you're doing that, right? So, I want to give that. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you analyzing somebody that you would consider as a rat, or somebody that literally is considered a rat, you know what I'm saying? An experiment, a manufactured experiment. You feel me? When you analyzing somebody like that, it's like, yeah, of course, it might be disheartening. You feel me? Or it might be something that you might like shy away from. Like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. You feel me? Like, of course you're gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you are one of those kind of people. But on top of me not wanting anything to do with that kind of person, you know what I'm saying, based on what that lifestyle consists of and what the after effects of that shit is. You feel me? It's just like, it's still kind of rough to really witness a man. You feel me? Or I call him a male species. You feel me? It's kind of still rough to see a male species, you feel me, that once was a man, you know what I'm saying, at some point, you feel me? And man, he was born a man, you feel me? And then, turned into a male species. Like, not really a man, you just a male, you feel me? You just got a penis type energy, you feel me? So it's like, at that rate, it's like, it's still rough to witness a male species going through that, knowing that he was once a man. Where now he's degraded down to lesser than a man, you feel me? So, that's why we want to discuss those kind of topics and shit like that, man, because, like, it's kind of rough, kind of rough to witness, you know what I'm saying? Like, granted, you know what I'm saying, we can scream, like, F the rats all day and shit like that, too. That's cool, you feel me? But I'm not giving any sympathy or nothing like that, but it's just like, damn, like, I just be pissed off a little bit about it, because, like, I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, people can do better than that, you feel me? I just feel like decisions could have been made, you know what I'm saying, better than that, you feel me? Like, it's just crazy when you see a man snap his fingers and another man get on his hands and knees and swallow their semen. Like, that's just, like, that don't even make sense to me, you feel me? Like, so when you seeing something like that, that's just like, all right, come on, man. Like, this shit getting a little out of hand, you feel me? Like, this shit just going too far, you feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that, though. But, yeah, man, so we're gonna keep it moving. But ZBM No Bending, today, here we go, man. We want to expose a few rats, talk about vulnerability, talk about commercial disparagement, talking about, Simon versus United States, or Simon versus Pennsylvania is what it is. Simon versus Pennsylvania. Talk about Simon versus Pennsylvania. The case where that law was established is actually in Pennsylvania. So Simon versus Pennsylvania, commercial disparagement, slander, and malicious prosecution, all of that kind of stuff we want to talk about. And how the Justice Department handles their informants, and nowadays in the 19th century and the 20th century, the terminology of an informant, or a rat, you know what I'm saying, or cooperating witness, cooperating informant, confidential informant, all of those terminologies in the 20th century and 19th century, what it basically breaks down to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to go back to the 17th and the 18th and the 16th century, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't using confidential informant or witness and all that. That shit was, you know what I'm saying, like a slave, you feel me? Like, so it's like, you know, it's the same thing, different terminology now. We in the 19th and 20th century, 21st century, whatever you know what I'm saying, as we progressing through. And, this is basically all it is that we seeing. And, like me personally, you know, I know it's like these two guys specifically, they African Americans and shit like that. But, these issues with genocide and, the Department of Justice, it's a wide range and variety of, people that's dealing with this kind of, reality, and stuff like that. But, for the youth, man, I just want to share it, share some of the shit like that, you feel me? Because, like, why would you want to put yourself in that predicament? Why would you want to put yourself in that position? You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was growing up, older people, like family members or women or even like older men that would be around me, they always used to say that kind of shit to me though, like, you know, they like for simple stuff, like my some of my family, for simple stuff I might do, they might hear me cursing or they might see me, being, bad in school or something, and they'll try to like correct me and shit, and they'll just say simple stuff like, you keep going on that way, you keep going that direction, you're gonna be in jail, somebody gonna be telling you what to do, everything to do and shit. And I used to be like, I took heed, I took it for what it was, I took it for face value, but, in reality, you feel me, what they were saying was like what they were saying was an understatement in a way, because like, yeah, somebody gotta tell you that one time to, shut your door in your cell, or they want to turn the TV off in the day room at this time, or they want to bring the food to the unit, or tell you when to go to the child hall. You know what I'm saying? When you can have a visit, when you can't have a visit, when the phone's available, when the phone's not available. It's kind of like it's kind of like somebody is kind of like dictating your day-to-day life when you are incarcerated. But, it's kind of like, all right, it's not so super crazy. You feel me? When it's that idea of it, but when you sign your rights away, now it's like shit you can't believe, shit you won't believe maybe. You feel me? So I guess that's what I kind of just witnessed when I was like bumping into two of those high profile rats or whatever, and it's like again somebody snapping their fingers and shit, and somebody forced to do or in that position where they're doing some weird freak shit like that. You feel me? Like, and that's just one aspect. You feel me? We got a couple other rats, that was in those predicaments where they signed their rights away, and they would go outside and commit a crime. You feel me? And that would start a genocide trend. You feel me? And then now again, this person's life ruined, their family life ruined, and it's just a fucking circus. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. For youth, I want to continue to promote and project that law there, man. That case there. You know what I'm saying? Like Simon versus the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and whatever. And for the youth, man, study up on that, man. Look into that case right there, and just be mindful, man. Like you can be okay, you know what I'm saying, as a 20-year-old, man. If you 21-year-old or 23-year-old, you feel me? If you can capture a career job making $60,000 a year, man, like there's nothing wrong with that, man. Like you can still buy all the Balmain and Gucci shit you want, man. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be a drug addict and have multiple children and all that kind of shit at the age of 21, man, don't blame the next person. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But, personally speaking, the ZBM owner, you know what I'm saying, Carløs Zeta himself, stupid motherfucking boss. Feel me? Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a multi-millionaire and shit like that. And the proof is in the pudding. Shout out to, all the district attorneys and judges that had to hate on me and shit like that, man. And, eventually, I think we'll be at the table again, and we'll be shaking hands, and they'll have to eat their defeat and everything like that. And and one thing I want to address is like when you on trial and you on bail, you feel me? Like you on trial, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. Even though you on bail, so the trial is not just in the courthouse. The trial is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I want to again, let the youth know, man, like, understanding what trial mean. You feel me? Like, yeah, you in a fucked up position, you feel me? You don't got money for a paid attorney, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're a dumb criminal, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you in a fucked up position. So if you're a dumb criminal and you don't got paid attorney money, then yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is. You just might fall victim as a statistic, right? You know, and shit like that. It's kind of what I was witnessing. A lot of people falling victim as statistics because they just dumb criminals, or you know, a lot of people are innocent though. I want to say that too. You know, you're an American. You feel me? Uh, you know, I think you're innocent. You know what I'm saying, right? So I think a lot of people really are innocent. You know what I'm saying, based off the fact that they're American. You know what I'm saying, based off the fact, you know what I'm saying, that they might be African American, or they might be black, or they might be Italian, or they might be Irish, they might be fucking Spanish or Puerto Rican. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, based off your nationality. You know what I'm saying, like, you're American, man. Like, your ethnicity. You know what I'm saying, your race and shit like that, man. You not your homosexuality. Excuse me. You know, your sexuality and shit. You feel me? Like, based on all those factors, I think a lot of people really are innocent. So, you know, but again, if you're gonna be a dumb person, you know, and you don't have a defense, you know, a public defender can't help you anyway. Even if they could help you, sometimes they might be, you know, whatever, man, like, more enticed to not help you. So, you know, I think it's just about awareness in those predicaments. But, you know, and then if you got the money for a pay attorney, you know what I'm saying, or you still a dumb person with money, you know what I'm saying? Because then it still don't matter. So, you know, again, I'll say it again. I think a lot of people are innocent, man, and it's a rough society out here for a lot of people and shit like that. But, you know, like I said, man, personally speaking, you know, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I know, you know, I'm literally a multi-millionaire. You know, we talking about equity value, you know, and, you know, again, one day we'll be at a table, you know, with these district attorneys and these judges, or these attorney generals and shit like that, and, you know, they'll have to shake my hand at the feet, and, you know, and we'll liquidize, you know, all equity value and shit like that. So, and that's just me personally speaking from the ZBM ownership position. But you know, as far as the youth and shit like that, man, like, just, you know, take what you can from this kind of story, you know, and try to apply it, man, while you're 17, 16. And I would just, again, say, man, just go for that 60,000 a year, 45,000, 50,000 a year career job, and, you know, whatever you want to do, man, you can do it later, or you can do it at whatever point you might want to, you know, adjust. But yeah, you should give yourself some air to breathe, right? So, you're on ZBM. Positivity must win. No fucking bending.